Alright everyone, it's time to create a magic spell for the witch, and she's going to fire it the way that the wizard fires his lightning bolt. So what we're going to do for this is we're just going to copy the lightning bolt and then change all the settings so that it fires from the witch instead of firing from the wizard, and so that it damages the wizard instead of damaging the witch. So we'll go over to lightning and we'll duplicate. So now we've got lightning 2. Let's change its name to witch spell. And the first thing I want to do is I want to change this here. It says when I receive tell lightning to strike. I'm going to change that to new message and tell witch spell to strike. Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to go to set up lightning. And we can change the names of these red ones if we want to set up witch spell. In fact, I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, that didn't take long. I just changed these two real quick. Those are the only ones I needed to change. So set up witch spell. The way that it works right now is it goes to the wizard because this is the code for the lightning. And the lightning always comes from the wizard. We want the witch spell to come from the witch. So the first thing we need to do is when we're setting it up, we need to take it to the witch so that it starts where she is. And then the next thing we need to do is, rather than point in a direction which is equal to the wizard's direction, so this thing here, this orange thing saying direction, this represents the wizard's direction. So the old lightning bolt used to point in the direction that the wizard was pointing in, and then it kind of deviated it a little bit, and then it would kind of move off in that direction. We're not going to have that. We're going to have it point towards the wizard. So go to motion, and point towards, where is he? Wizard? And then it's going to appear. So it's all automatically going to be aimed at the wizard as soon as it appears. And then the other thing we need to do is, if it's touching the wizard, then it's going to cause the damage. So get rid of current enemy there, throw that away, and change this to wizard. So if it's touching wizard, then you can disappear. And we need it to somehow damage the wizard. Now, how do we do that? What we need to do is throw actually throw this away, or at least throw this part away. And it's broadcast take damage. That's the signal that tells the wizard to take damage. So that's what we need here. So that ought to work. So now what we need to do is make it so that the witch actually casts her spell. So she's going to choose to cast her spell sometimes. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to this code in witch called hover. Now this is the leftover code from the ghost. And this would decide at random whether the ghost did its howling and whether it did a little circle in the air. We're going to use this code to choose at random whether or not to cast her spell. So all we need is this broadcast. Now if I go back to witch spell, go to the top, you'll remember that it says when I receive tell witch spell to strike. Well, that's what we need. That's the signal we need to send. So we're going to broadcast this and tell witch spell to strike. And then we're just going to pop it in here. So what's going to happen is this hover command is going to get called every so often. It's already set up to be called. If she's visible, she's going to check she's not paused. And if she's not, she's going to decide randomly whether to cast her spell and cackle, or alternatively, whether or not to do a little circle in the air. So let's see if that works. We did quite a lot, so there's a lot that could have gone wrong. Okay, good.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So that happened kind of fast. She was killing us pretty fast there. But she was firing the lightning at us. We're going to change the graphics for this eventually, maybe in the next video. But right now, I think it's moving a little bit too fast. It's coming at me too fast. So I'm going to change this. This is the bit where we decide the speed. So instead of move 50 steps, let's just try move 10. And then just see if that's a little bit more survivable. And we can actually tell what's going on, because last time it was just so fast, we couldn't really... There it is. So she's shooting her lightning at me. And then when it hits me, I hurt. Which is exactly what I want.
Yum.
Okay, so far so good. Let's just stop it. So in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to improve the graphics for the witch spell so they look a little bit different from the lightning, just to kind of add some variation. And I will see you there. Thank you for listening, and if you find this video useful, please hit like and subscribe.